Okay, so hello from Flint. My name is Melissa Mays, and I run What Are You Fighting For? And I had planned on going to City Council tonight to ask them a few questions. This video is going to be quick because I keep getting random phantom nosebleeds. I wonder what that's from. And yeah, so I have a few questions. Number one is the shutoffs. The state of Michigan is forcing the city of Flint to push everybody to pay their water bills. That's right. We never stopped receiving water bills for the poison flowing through our taps. The state says that 70% of people need to be paying these. Otherwise, they are going to stop sending infrastructure money. Yeah, so we have to keep paying for the poison flowing through, or they'll never fix anything that they caused. Keep in mind that the state actually poisoned our water. They destroyed our infrastructure, which is crumbling right now. They are slowly sending bits and pieces of the $25 million that they pledged. So all we want is new pipes to stop poisoning the water. But the state's saying that, hey, we're going to make sure that you get shut off if you don't pay for your poison, whether you can afford the highest rates for the lowest quality water. That's right. The city of Flint actually is charged the highest rates in the United States for the lowest quality water. In a city that lives 41% at or below the poverty line, while no one is refunding us for the bills that we've been paying since we found out that our water was poisoned, or even before that, since we failed our first safe drinking water test right away after the switch in April of 2014. So we're getting water bills, and nobody's paying for the damages to our homes, to our health, or the fact that, like my family, we have to pay about $160 a month to go to a laundromat outside of town because the water smells so badly it makes our clothes stink. So nobody's giving us credits for that, but the state is forcing us to pay. So it's kind of interesting. Number two, water bottle delivery. So I am a part of an injunction that was filed by the Natural Resources Defense Council, ACLU of Michigan, Concerned Pastors for Social Action, and myself, that demands that the state deliver water to people, because upon knocking on doors that Flint Rising has done since January of 2016, we've found far too many people have no cars and no way to get to the 9 distribution pods for the 100,000 people that live here. Also, the state decided to cut down the hours on those pods. It's now noon to 6, Monday through Saturday. Yeah, most people work, and like even my work schedule can't get there on those times. We liked using Sundays because that was our day off, and they took that day away. So we have no way except for skipping our lunch hour to get our rations, to go pick up these rations that we're allowed to have. So for people who don't have a car, which is a large percentage of Flint, the sick, the homebound, the elderly, people with small children, and anyone who uses the bus, you're going to go take the bus to pick up basically 1 case of water, because it's kind of hard, especially if you're sick or elderly or have small children, to carry more than 1 case of water at a time at 26.5 pounds. So the state is saying that's just unnecessary, and it's a burden to them to deliver water to us. That's right. They've not delivered water to us. And a lot of people can opt out. People who have cars, who are perfectly healthy, can totally opt out. But the interesting thing that I find is that the state says it's going to hurt our recovery, because then the less water that's flowing through the pipes, the less the orthophosphates or the phosphoric acid they're putting into the pipes are going to recoat the pipes. They're saying that if people use bottled water instead of the filters that they're sending us, that the water is going to be flowing so that there's less of an opportunity for this acid to recoat our pipes. However, they just started forcing shutoffs, so they need to make up their mind. Do they want the water flowing or don't they? No matter what it is, they're continually punishing the sick, the poisoned, the poor, the homebound, the elderly. Because why? Because they obviously do not care about the most vulnerable in our community. I mean, not that they ever did. So, yeah, so the forcing shutoffs, sending us these giant bills, and, yeah, they don't want us to have bottled water. They want us to use these filters, which, if you read the box, it says, do not use if there's a microbial issue in the water. Well, guess what? We've had several bacterial outbreaks. In fact, bacteria is what killed 12 people in the city of Flint. So when the filters, the tap filters, the boxes that they hand us tell us not to use if there's a bacterial issue, they say not to use it, and yet here we are being told, use the filters because that's all you're going to get. Yeah, okay, so it might reduce, not remove, reduce lead. That's wonderful, but lead's not the only thing in our water. It hasn't been since day one. We have to worry about cancer-causing byproducts, bacteria, and any other volatile compounds that pop up. And here's the funny thing. I got my shutoff notice on Friday. Yeah, telling me that I better pay my water bill, and it says Flint Forward on it, which is a state thing. And yeah, I got it the same day that I got my latest round of Virginia Tech test, which shows me that I have 1,740 parts per billion of lead coming through my tap. Now, it's not through my home because there's 3 bottles. One tells you what's in your home, one tells you what's in your service line, and the third one tells you what's coming in from the city's mains. Mine proved that the city's mains are falling apart, and it's not my home's problem. That's another issue altogether. They like to blame the victims, and they like to blame our homes. So, yeah, no. So here I'm looking at this. There's no safe level of lead. The max level of lead allowable is 15 parts per billion before the whole city needs to check their corrosion control plan. Mine's 1,740. Better hurry up and pay for my poison right there. However, most of us who have kids feel that we are forced to, because one, you know, after the past has shown that after 90 days, after your water shut off, they can cap your sewer. They could condemn your home. And then in past, years, if you were receiving any kind of public assistance, Child Protective Services could be called to your home. That's a scary thought for anyone with kids. So here we are, bullied. The city of Flint, the residents of Flint, are still being bullied by the very people who poisoned us. And come this Thursday, the 15th, there's going to be massive shutoffs for apartment complexes because the landlords didn't pay their water bills. And so the people who have been paying their rent, where water is included, are getting kicked out of their homes. The gas has already been shut off in one of the units, and now there's massive shutoffs going to start happening. It's a crazy place to live here in Flint, as if we didn't have enough stress as it was, as if the poison wasn't enough. Now we have to worry about people being kicked out of their homes. So we have to figure out what we can do as poisoned residents to stand with our fellow Flint residents to make sure no one goes homeless before Christmas this year or any time. So please share this because, again, the state's not letting this narrative out. They're ignoring us. They are telling us that we're crazy, we're dumb, we're dirty, we're stupid, and we're not. And we're also having a press conference tomorrow morning, Tuesday, December 13th. Whether you see this before or after, I'll be able to post it online. We're going to live stream it to go over the test results from homes like mine that don't fit in that narrative. And there are parents like me, fighters here in Flint, that don't fit that narrative. We are not dumb. We are not scared. We are not dirty people. We're not bringing this on ourselves. And we're going to continue to stay and fight because Flint is worth fighting for. And for all of you out there who don't think it can happen to you, think again. Because the EPA is going to be cut down even worse soon. Clean air and water regulations are going to be cut back. And the number one place, an easy place to cut corners is like what the state of Michigan did to Flint and cut corners with our water treatment and switch our water source. It can and will happen to you if you're not careful. So you need to look into this. You need to get your water tested. Just because it's clear doesn't mean it's safe. Lead has no color, as well as many other contaminants. So you need to look into this because if Flint doesn't get fixed, if we don't get the help that we need, and not little pieces here and there that all filter through the state, if we don't get the help that we need, no other city is going to get help when it hits them either. So, again, please use the hashtag FlintWaterCrisis, hashtag FlintFixFlint, hashtag Justice for Flint, whatever you need to do. Please share this out. That's the biggest thing you can do to help us right now, is to share this out and let people know that Flint's not better. And this is the United States in 2016. We shouldn't be having to live in this. Thank you.